Let's get it started with the Daily Brief, your Progressive Army Daily Brief. President Obama plans a historic trip to Cuba. The White House said on Thursday that President Obama will travel to Cuba next month for the first visit by a sitting American president in 88 years. Mr. Obama's trip will come just 15 months after the U.S. and Cuba announced plans to restore their ties after a diplomatic freeze lasting more than 50 years. Cliven Bundy and 4 others are indicted for Nevada Ranch standoff. Justice was delayed in the case of the insurrectionist Cliven Bundy, age 69, but he did not escape in the end. After being arrested upon his arrival in Portland, Oregon on February 10th, he was denied bail Tuesday as a flight risk, and he was indicted on Wednesday along with his son, Amon, who led the takeover of the Mueller National Wildlife Refuge. His son, Ryan, and 2 other men, Ryan Payne and Peter Santilli, were also indicted. Together, the 5 men are facing 16 felony charges for the 2014 Oregon standoff, the event which emboldened the Bundys to seize the wildlife refuge. Interesting story coming out of LA. LA Hospital, Los Angeles Hospital pays ransom to restore computer network. A Los Angeles hospital paid nearly $17,000 in ransom to hackers who breached and disabled its computer network, the hospital said in a statement on Wednesday. Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center paid the ransom of 40 Bitcoins, which is currently worth $16,664 in order to restore the computer system that was infiltrated on February 5th. The hackers used a malware that locks systems by encrypting files and demanding ransom to be obtained, the decryption key. The White House includes millennial civil rights activists in a meeting with President Obama. In an unprecedented meeting with Black Lives Matter, President Obama met with a number of young millennial generational civil rights leaders at the White House today. Because President Obama will convene leaders with different generations, it is described as an event of first of its kind. But not all of the invited activists accepted the invitation. The co-founder of the Chicago-based Black Lives Matter, Aislinn Pulley, wrote an op-ed stating that she refused to meet with President Obama because the Black struggle is not a soundbite or a photo opportunity. Interesting story coming out of Silicon Valley. Tech founder rants against the homeless. A San Francisco-based tech company founder is upset about the city's homelessness problem. Not upset at the 6,600 people who are homeless in a city with skyrocketing housing costs, but that the wealthy working people and their relatives have to see them. In an open letter to the San Francisco mayor and chief of police, Justin Keller, the founder of Commando.io, described 3 incidents involving homeless people who were drunk or high and publicly distraught. This is a direct quote. "The residents of this amazing city no longer feel safe. I know people are frustrated about gentrification happening in the city, but the reality is we live in a free market society. The wealthy working people have earned their right to live in the city. They went out, got an education, worked hard, and earned it. I should not have to worry about being accosted. I shouldn't have to see the pain, the struggle, and the despair of homeless people to and from my way to work every day," Keller quoted. I'm doing my best not to give commentary yet. I'll give commentary in a minute. Finally, Pope Francis declares that building a wall is anti-Christian. In a response to a question asked by reporters about comments from Donald Trump, who referred to the Pope as a pawn for the Mexican government, Trump says that he was going to build a wall. The Pope responded in saying during his in-flight news conference from Juarez to Rome, Pope Francis stated that the recent criticism from Donald Trump, who called the Pope political and threatened to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border. He stated and said, "A person who thinks only about building walls, whether they may be and not building bridges, it is not a Christian thing to do. This is not the gospel," the Pope said on Thursday. You know what's very difficult for me, Progressive Army, is to read all of this. And when something that's your daily briefing. Let's move on. When something jumps off the pages at me, I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk about this right now. but I'm trying to discipline myself not to always give you my opinion. If you want my opinion, just stay a little bit later and you can get my opinion. I'm talking about all of these things tonight.